Hi everyone. Probably don't know me, but I probably I have some sort of dilemmas to kind of go through, and I was just wondering like if I really made the right choice this time. For me, I think really regretting a decision hasn't always been like something that I do personally, because my dad always told me like on bold, like on textile bold, I should not regret anything I did. And I feel like I took that to heart, and now I kind of justify it by saying that all things that we did are like decisions made by what our state of mind was in that moment and in that time. So we can't really say that we regret any of those actions because we chose a decision that mainly stroked stroke is the wrong word, but that mainly strike what our mind was going for. At least for me, that would always choose the the logical or the emotional approach of what my mind tells me. So not really hindered by anything circumstantial unless actually refer refer it to that. And that's why I think in this at this point and in this time, this decision has made me think: do I regret it at some point? The decision was made um, because I was chasing after this girl for a few years, and it changed me completely. Like, she gave me life for the amount of time that we had. She made me feel close. She made me feel basically everything that I made of, and I'm so grateful for her. But at one point, it just started becoming like we were drifting apart because it was distance. We didn't really see each other. It was mostly online. We knew each other way back when, but the distance got to us, and I guess that kind of proved the point of why the distance was so silencing, and we grew into two different people, even though I've set my mind that she was still the same person as I met her before, and now she changed, and I felt that I was becoming more and more codependent to her as I approached more, and that made me feel sad for myself because when is it my turn? When is it gonna be my turn to kind of find the people that I actually want to be with? Not to say that she was kind of like an anomaly or a mistake in that part. She was, I think she cared for me a lot, and I cared for her a lot too. Being chased after all these years, no matter how many rejections, how many times I have been already told to back off, and I just never gave up until at one point I just realized that enough is enough. We've been intoxicated to each other for so long, and I guess that's mostly for my part because it didn't really feel or seem like I was an important person anymore. Like, I was very needy. I am very needy in general, and it just seemed like it was never gonna be reciprocated anyway. And at some point, I wanted to die along with it. So I decided it's time to end this once and for all. And so I finally kept the silence for at least 2 months, and I decided one day, February, I should answer. I should explain myself, and that got me into just never getting into contact with her ever again. And now, you know, it happened. So it happened during my commute going back home from school, and just waiting for that bus. I was so happy. Ironically, unironically, sorry. Yeah, I felt so happy. And it was weird because why would you be happy for something that you've lost greatly? Something that you've been so enticed with. And it's weird because now I'm regretting it for some reason. Well, I'm regretting it right now, but maybe if I sleep, then just come back to normal and try to live normal. But many days I just keep thinking about her, and I keep thinking about like how I could have done it better, how I could have been a better friend overall, when I could have just listened to her more, listened to what she thinks more, instead of me just blabbering everything about what I feel and what I need. Like there's many points that I overlook, but not as much as this one because I never felt this loss before. I was never usually the one that would end it all, and that's why it's so different now. I miss her. I miss her a lot, but in the end, I'm still questioning whether it was right or wrong. But now that I think about it, maybe it's for the best. Maybe it's good that I'm inconclusive about whether it was right or wrong because I don't think there can be a right or wrong situation for this. What I needed was distance. What I needed was clarification. And I left before I can even get that because I don't think the answer was gonna be. I don't think the answer was gonna be great for me either. And so, in that moment and in that time, I felt no regrets. I was joyous to be free, to be free from all those feelings, those emotions, and finally do things from my own, for my own. She was special, and I loved her so much. She couldn't believe that someone could love somebody this much, and I and she really didn't want to break the friendship with me. But she also never really did accept my feelings in the end, and I think that broke me. That kept me codependent to her, as I kept lingering and lingering, expecting that something will be different. But no, I should have known. I could have ended it a long time ago. But, you know, at some point, when I was thinking, like, do I regret it or nothing? Or anything? That's when I realized that I don't actually regret a lot of things that I've done. And even then, if this relationship has scarred me so much to the point that I don't feel like believing in love anymore, I don't believe in that I'll ever have a proper friendship or relationship at this point. Deep inside, I don't regret what I did. I don't regret having that 4 years of my life being taken away from her. Because in that moment and in that time, I was happy. I loved every second of it. And because I loved her so much, I decided it was time for me to move on and find my own happiness. Because my love will always reach her somewhat. And if I really loved her, it was time to let go. To know that reality was often grim, and that the reality has already been shown to me so many times. So it's time to accept that, no matter what I did.